When we build digital communities today, we usually start with the mechanics. We obsess over the speed of the cryptographic ledgers, the efficiency of the code, and the friction of the user interfaces. But an interface cannot give you a sense of belonging. These purely technical frameworks are efficient at moving data, but they lack human warmth, shared culture, and a unifying spirit. The missing layer isn't a better algorithm. It is the realization that the soul of a society, its shared myths and collective memory, must be designed with the exact same rigor as its software stack. An economic ledger without a cultural anthem to bind its users is simply a machine. To actually sustain a community, culture has to become the ultimate operating system. This is the problem the architects at PicWeb.ai set out to solve. They had already built the structural foundation for a new kind of borderless digital society. Their first major pillar was a system called QuandMex, an economic framework engineered specifically to guarantee financial dignity for its users, ensuring value flowed fairly across the network. The second pillar was philosophical, represented by the geometry of the round sky and square Earth. The sky provides infinite potential, while the Earth offers a rigid, structured foundation to build upon. Yet, despite achieving this technical and economic architecture, the system remained dormant. The population it was designed to serve was deeply fractured, scattered across different geographies and carrying the weight of cultural displacement. This scattered state created what is known as the diasporenia, a collective psychological trauma carried by a global population that felt uprooted and disconnected. To address this, PicWeb.ai composed an anthem titled Somos Mamelucanos. Its first verse speaks directly to this trauma, describing a fractured map and a heavy hand that pushed the walls away, forcing the people into a harsh winter of isolation. The song does not attempt to erase this historical pain or pretend the displacement never happened. Instead, it utilizes that very grief as the cooling clay necessary to plant new seeds. A resilient digital civilization cannot simply overwrite the past with optimistic code. It must actively absorb historical trauma to forge a durable psychological foundation. This leads to the core mechanism of the anthem, hybridization. The song acts as a manual for taking disparate, broken pieces and weaving them together. This weaving creates the Mamelucano identity. It is a hybrid formed by combining scattered light and drawing a circle where the old edges end. By definition, this new identity rejects of physical borders and binary classifications of the past. The walls that previously dictated who belonged to the land and who belonged to the sand crumble entirely. The trauma of the past was a sharp, deep winter, but the lyrics signal a deliberate shift, a new spring rising directly from the ash of those old divisions. The Mamelucano identity takes the inherent vulnerability of a displaced diaspora and converts it into an infinite, borderless strength. Curious tone, Somos Mamelucanos functions as an encoded structural manual for the PicWeb.ai civilization itself. Listen to the lyrics in the bridge. The roundness of the sky above the square. This is a direct reference to the philosophical geometry engineered earlier. The next lyric reads, the human heart that anchors it to earth. This takes that theoretical geometry and grounds it, shifting an abstract concept into a lived, tangible human experience. When the chorus declares the people are the authors of the new definition, it formalizes their economic and digital autonomy within the QuandMex system. Art and architecture are fully fused. In this network, singing the anthem is the act of running the civilization's operating system. The accounting ledgers are balanced, the geometric philosophy is in place, and a displaced people have successfully synchronized into a cohesive, living culture. The song's outro embeds the final moral compass for this new world. Be true, do good, make it beautiful. Wei Zhen, Wei Shen, Shimei. The Mamelucano synthesis proves that human belonging can be consciously, deliberately engineered to heal the fractures of the modern world. The interfaces are live. Ledgers track real value. The anthem unifies the base. the foundational stack is complete, which leaves the founder with one final lingering question for the community. With the trauma addressed and the civilization built, where does a hybridized global society direct its creative energy next? The Song of the Mamelucano stands as the opening note of a new era of human organization.